Hey guys, Will Gillis here for his final presentation. So we started with about a group of 30 some words, and we had to break that down into 10, and then to 5, and then to 3. Out of the initial 30 or so, I found about 13 or 14 words that were very important to me, but about 3 or 4 of those that I could neglect to make that list of 10. Then the list of 5 was a little bit harder, and I threw away some of my core beliefs and values, but there was still a glowing 5 to me, and that list ended up being wisdom, passion, fitness, loyalty, and diversity. Then the hardest list, the list of 3, of course. I ended up with wisdom, passion, and fitness. Fitness is extremely important in my own life. As you can see, I'm sitting in my home gym right now. This is where I've been training for all of quarantine, so fitness is very important to me. But as physical educators, we have the ability to make kids enjoy and learn about fitness so they can continue living and leading active, healthy lifestyles. Next is passion. Passion for me is my number one on any list because if you have a strong enough passion for something, I believe you can truly do it no matter how odd it may be. Nobody may believe in you, but if you have passion in your belief, that's all you should need. And that is the mindset I want to try to instill in my students because even your parents might not believe in you. But in life, nobody owes you anything, so you have to prove to them that you can make your living through your passion. Lastly, for me, is wisdom. I believe wisdom only comes through personal experience, and that is why it is so important. We must teach our kids through personal stories and knowledge that we have obtained through the years to help them better understand and relate to the world ahead of them. After all, teaching is what educators should all be about, and that is how I got my list of 30 words down to just 3. Now on to part 2. So this is the About Me section, and this is where you'll learn who I am, why I'm this way, and basically how I was made. So first I want to start out by showing an artifact that means something to me. A dumbbell. This dumbbell particularly was the second set of dumbbells I ever got in my pursuit of chasing my dream of becoming a professional bodybuilder. But it did not always start that way, and that is not why I got this dumbbell at first, but it has stuck with me ever since, and I will continue to keep it and use it until my last day of lifting. Why that dumbbell means so much to me is not only has it sculpted my body throughout the years and given me the ability to try and craft something out of my body to become a professional bodybuilder, but bodybuilding and this dumbbell really saved my life. As a kid in 6th grade, my best friend was my neighbor, and at the bus stop we talked about sitting together at lunch the first day of 6th grade. You know, we were very popular in elementary school for being athletic, and we were best friends, and I didn't think that would change. So when we got to the cafeteria, the doors opened up and they flooded full of 6th grade kids from all the different schools. He ended up running to one, and that one table ended up being the popular kid table. So he abandoned me, left my side, and I had nowhere to sit. And throughout my time in middle school, I didn't really have any friends, and I kind of stopped fitting in because even though I was still athletic, those kids wanted to hang out for whatever reason. I was left out of a lot of things, such as parties and hangouts and get-togethers, and that's kind of prevailed through now. I'm not really included in a lot. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party, so that doesn't really help my case, hanging out with my peers. But one thing I do is bodybuild, and in 6th grade, when I was struggling to make friends, I thought there was something wrong with me, as most 6th grade kids would. So I thought, how could I fix that? The only way I saw was bodybuilding. And so I asked my dad for some weights, and he got me 2 sets of dumbbells, one 15-pound and one 30-pound, which is the one I showed you right here. So this dumbbell has been with me since 6th grade until my freshman year of college. So as you can see, it has a lot of sentimental value to me. While I thought bodybuilding would make me popular and make me fit in again, it didn't. But it did do some things. It made me stronger than the other kids, and made me bigger than the other kids. So this stopped from the verbal bullying to my face, as they were probably too scared to talk to me. So it didn't make me fit in, but it definitely did give me a home and a safe haven in the gym, and it ended up becoming a passion. Now, this passion does come with insecurities now as far as your body goes. You want to try and sculpt the perfect thing, but that does not always happen. However, the gym has always given me a safe place to where I can believe in myself. If you know me in person now, you know I'm kind of shy. I'm definitely insecure, and I don't have a lot of self motivation or confidence, and that's probably because of what happened to me in the 6th grade. I'm not quite sure why I don't fit in, and I just feel like I'm different, so I don't really try and fit in anymore. As far as fitness goes, we know that it is not very hard to include dumbbells, weights, or anything related to that. So, as a physical educator, how am I going to use my life, things that mean so much to me, such as dumbbells, in physical education is kind of obvious, but rather use my life, its story. I believe that all kids truly can fit in, and that each kid is special in their own way. However, they can form bonds and groups. I don't want any kid to be left out like me. I will try my best to make every kid fit in and stick together and play together as if they were no different from each other. That is the most meaningful thing to me, and the thing I will try to imply in my classroom the most. I do not want any kid to struggle like me, so if somebody is being picked on or bullied, there will be consequences until everybody works together as a team. And when they do, they will be congratulated and rewarded for that, as kids should be for doing something good. As people, we should try and work together. We've only got one planet together. We're stuck on it together. And as you can see, in this light of the current quarantine going on, we have made some changes. Pollution has gotten better. Gas prices have gone down. But real talk, we contained a virus that we didn't know how to take care of. And while a lot of people did die, yes, we did a great job of staying home and working together as a country. And I don't believe it should take big acts such as the coronavirus or 9/11 for people to come together. We need to find similarities in our everyday life because everybody is struggling in their own ways and everybody is doing good in their own ways. So you have to keep in mind that we all have things we have to deal with. So let's face them together because you're a lot stronger as a bundle of twigs than one twig alone. In ACE106, we have learned so much about being physical educators and athletic coaches, whether this was through Mr. Yates' presentations or through others' presentations or through our book. We have learned many different things, and we have all become better teachers and coaches because of this. Some of the glowing things that really stood out to me in this class were the APA style formatting, the concussion certification, and the safe sport, how to coach kids. Two of these really stood out because they were an actual certification. I did not believe that after just taking one course, I would be certified in two different things. For concussions, I grew up playing hockey, so I've been around so many concussions and I've seen how they could affect kids. I'm now happy that I am able to spot what a possible concussion may be and that I know the precautions of what I should do if somebody has a concussion. These are very important things as our brain is our most powerful tool and we should be able to utilize it to its full potential. So if you see somebody with a concussion, please sit them out, take them to a hospital, get them checked so they can be back to 100. Next is a safe sport for how to coach kids. I never thought that I would know exactly how to coach kids in the manner that kids are always thinking different things, especially when they're in younger age groups. This kid might be thinking about donuts, this kid might be thinking about the game. So how do you control that? Well, how to coach kids kind of gives you ways to direct kids to one similar goal or path so that coaching becomes a little bit easier. If you give your team one main goal, they all work towards that goal. Now with kids, you might have to use a little bit of influence of ice cream after the game or something like that. But it not only gave you a look into the physical aspect, but the emotional and mental aspect of little kids, which I believe is very important in coaching. Lastly is APA style. this is something that when we first started learning about it, I had no clue why we were learning about it. And the only format I'd ever used, and the only one I was ever used to, was MLA. And APA seemed a lot harder, so I wasn't really interested in it. MLA is something that I used throughout all of high school and through basically since middle school when I started citing sources and everything like that. So when I had to learn a new style, I wasn't very excited. But when I got to college, and I was also going through English class at the same time as this class, she said they must be an APA format. I didn't know how to use that format, but luckily I learned it in my coaching class, not my English class. So I did know how to do it. And I guess that's why that one ended up being important to me